Well, hello, everybody. Melinda Jacobs here, intuitive coach, clinical hypnotherapist. I work with people all over the world, helping them move through and beyond difficult experiences to get to their very best selves. I empower transformation personally and globally because I truly believe that when we heal ourselves, that ripple effect goes out into the world. So I'm going to talk today about autism and literal brainness. For those of you who don't know, I was late diagnosed as having autism last September 2022. And I have since been kind of coming into understanding this diagnosis, understanding myself, and things that have been difficult for me and ways to better support myself. So I am not the authority. I am not anywhere in a place to diagnose people. So if you consider yourself potentially on the spectrum, I certainly have resources where you can reach out to, but I am not the person for diagnostics. So, literal brain, what does it mean? So, there's this thing with autistic brains, and it is a neurological thing. My brain is wired differently than what we call neurotypicals. Neurotypical is kind of the broader population, and neurodiverse is on the edge of that spectrum. And so, my literal brain hears things literally. It really is that simple. And I'll give you a few examples and the impact that this has on me. And please do not take this video as a, oh, please pity me. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't need that. My life is really, really challenging. Every single day I am butting up against stuff that has to do with my autism, but I am not doing this for sympathy. I don't need you to console me. I'm good. I'm solid. I really do this for information and educational purposes and to create awareness. So the first thing is when people say, it's a common phrase that we use in our language a lot, And this is what my brain does every single time I hear that statement. And the people in my inner circles uses it a lot. This is what my brain says. No, I don't know, which is why you're telling me. This is why we're having this conversation, is because I don't know. And so just that simple assumption, it is a statement, And the reality is, I don't. And so my literal brain will literally get locked on that little tiny simple phrase, and it will spin into a deep dissecting it apart and struggling with the I don't know. And so, how is it that you could possibly say or assume that I know? And then it becomes insulting. And then I take it personally. We're talking a rapid fire downward spiral from just that simple statement. Another way that it shows up for me is this is notoriously my mother is she will elude or hint to something without directly asking. And so for me and literal brain, direct questions like go straight to the target. And people will often say that my coaching style is very direct. And there's a reason why is my literal brain. But my mom will randomly say something like, yeah, I really need to go to the store this week. That statement has nothing to do with me. It is a random statement about the current state of her affairs. And her communication style is that's her form of a request. But it is not a request. It is not even a question. It is merely a statement that's being thrown out into the ethers, and it doesn't impact me whatsoever. And so I have to run that statement through several iterations of translation to figure out what she's trying to say. This is one of my struggles. Don't support me around this. I don't need to be consoled around this. This is one of the struggles is I expend an exorbitant amount of energy trying to figure out, what does that mean to me? What am I supposed to do with that information? Am I supposed to do anything with that information? Like, oh my God, help me here. And so I am working diligently to try to help the people in my inner circle to communicate in a way where I don't have to work so hard. If you want something of me, ask me directly. Melinda, I need to go to the store. Will you take me? Like, there's a question. Will you take me? When are you available? Like engaging me in the question is a very good way to communicate. And this doesn't just, yes, this is in context of autism, but how nice would it be if we would just start communicating more directly with people, get really clear within ourselves? What is it that I'm asking? What is it that I'm needing around this? Why am I saying this to this person? And can I do it more directly? And so I'll give you one more example. And this one just happened over just yesterday. I've been in a coaching course and we did a mock panel of coaching. And at the end, so there was 6 of the participants and the instructor. We each took a turn coaching. And at the end, our instructor said, so, okay, so this is a very good example of what your final will look like to get certified. And so, yes, I'm working towards getting certified as a life coach, even though I've been doing it for umpteen years. Don't ask. So at the end of everybody going, the instructor says, okay, so here's good news and bad news. So you all went through the process, and this is exactly what your final exam, what getting certified is going to look like. This is your oral exam. It's not going to be exactly like this. And she goes, and you all failed. In that moment, I went into a spiral of, are you kidding me? What do you mean I failed? I've been doing this for years. And yeah, I have some places where I need to up level some skill sets. And I watched other people who I thought did phenomenally, even way better than me. And if they failed, how in the world am I supposed to ever accomplish this? I went into a panic spiral. And then she turns around and says, just kidding, y'all passed. Not cool. Not cool. Now, not cool on a number of levels. And I think I'm understanding more and more why I don't like that level of joking. Number one is because it sent me off into a panic spiral that I'm still in. Now, I know she said she was just kidding, but the cascade of what happens within my own nervous system can take me hours, if not days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years to come out of around a particular thing, because my literal brain heard you failed and ran with it. So this is, how do I want to wrap this up? So I just want to bring it to your attention that whether someone in your life is neurodiverse or you yourself are neurodiverse, this might be something that you're contending with. This might be something that people around you are struggling with. And one of the ways that you can support people in your life, whether they're neurodiverse or not, is to say what you mean what you say, and be very considerate of people's nervous systems and what kind of triggers and wounding they might be holding. For anyone who has any kind of testing or learning disability, that comment would have been enough that they would have never returned. That level of, I'm just going to call it a naivete. I think we can do better to support ourselves, to support our children, to support our friends, to support each other, to support our family, is say what you mean what you say. Be very careful about how you go about teasing, joking people, because it might add one more thing on an already very full plate of what they're trying to contend with on a day-to-day basis. So I hope this was informative. If it was, please leave me a comment. Please pass this along if it resonates for you or could be helpful for someone else. And I look forward to doing more kind of informative, educational videos about my experience and my journey with autism. Much love. Take good care of you.